Hello and welcome back to the channel. I have found myself with a couple of spare hours in the run up to Christmas, so I thought I would try and get a video done, and hopefully this will be uploaded and online before December the 25th, 2018. This is my gift to you, so it will officially immediately become the shittest Christmas present that you get this year, eclipsing even the dreadful pair of socks from your grandma. So performing a social service here. So if anyone asks you what the worst present you got this year was, you can say, well, Degsy uploaded one of his stupid fucking videos where he talks for 10 minutes before he even spins the reels. And in this video we are going to cover the kind of late era JPM System 5 machines. I did talk about these in the previous video and said I wanted to get a video done on the machines themselves, and here we are. I'm going to be covering the four machines that you can see in front of you here. We've got Popeye, we have got Hagar, I've spoilt it now. That was a special late entry, but oh god, this is going, oh Jesus Christ. I've not exactly got more professional, have I, in my brief absence. We've got Circus and we've got Fairground. And then we also have, which I've already ruined, the special mystery new entry is Around the World in 80 Days, which was another machine that was slap bang in the middle of this era. Now, all these machines have a couple of things in common. First of all, they were all released on 20p play, £6 token jackpots, and they all had fantastic £3 cash repeaters, and they were all full sample machines. Now, I have spoken in the past about how JPM got through 3 iterations of System 5, certainly from a sound perspective. You had the very early ones, which was Fireball and the like, which had the really horrible bleepy bloopy sound. Then you had a sort of Hollywood Nights was one of them in the mid-range, which kind of had the synth sound, and then you had full sample packages towards the back end. There was also an in-betweeny. There was a machine called Dirty Dozen is one that springs to mind, that had a mix of the synth sound and the samples. There is a layout for Dirty Dozen, but we've never had the sound ROMs for it as far as I'm aware, so it plays kind of half mute in that the stuff that's done with the synth chip is there, but the samples are missing. However, these 5 machines here, so that's Popeye, Hagar, Circus, Fairground, and Around the World in 80 Days, these were all 20p, £6, full samples right from the start. Now, the layouts that we've got here, this one here, Around the World in 80 Days, this is a new one. This is a MFME V6 layout by We Are City, who he's been around on the scene absolutely forever, and he's only started making layouts in certainly in the new era of FME. So in the last couple of years, he's finally turned his hand after so many years to making layouts, and he knocks out a decent classic. I've got no problems with classic. I am still happy to play classics, and he's got his own little style. It's a little bit boxy, it's a little bit workmanlike, dare I say, but I've got no problem with that. He's represented the real machine quite nicely. It all works, everything's functional. That's the main thing for me. We know that the emulation is good on the back end. All I really need from there is a layout that translates the machine into something that I can play. So I am quite happy with a classic layout as such as this, because for me it's the emulation that matters. Now, those of you with an eagle eye will have already noticed we've got some slight issues with the layouts here. I'm running all of these in MFME v5.1, and there's a problem with the real offsets. As I noticed when I loaded them up, because you can have multiple instances of 5.1 running at the same time, which is why I'm using this instead of 3.2. As you can see, the real offsets are all kinds of fucked up. Now, I guess what I would need to do...
I'll feed you, Olive.
Yes, we're coming, Olive. Do be quiet. Now, I think I've got to faff about with this band offset here, but I'd have to do them all, and I'm on a limited time budget here, so we'll just go with them as they are. I know there are some people who are probably wincing. Oh, for God's sake, Degsy, sort the layout. I mean, look at this. Look at the dice reel. Look at that reel there. We're gonna live with it. To give you an idea, basically, it's the line below the win line that we're looking at. So there on the win line, we've got the cherry with the 2, the JPM and the triple bar, and so on. It's always the one just below the win line. I'm not quite sure if this dice reel here is on a 3 or a 4. We'll work it out as we go along. I'm not going to spend too long on each machine because we have got 5 machines to get through. Now, all of these 5 machines here, I played a lot back in the day. They were absolutely slap bang in the middle of my full bore addiction phase, and I remember all of them well, and I remember playing them. They were, again, JPM did very well with these. These were all over the place. They were popular machines in both pubs and arcades, so very, very clear memories of playing all of these. Now, year-wise, I'm gonna say it's slightly annoying because JPM do actually put. Can you see where look at Fairground on the right-hand side here? See where the JPM sort of little logo is there? Underneath there, they always put, and that'll be the same there. Is that 91 on Circus? I can't quite see there. Hagar, again, that'll be there under there, and again on Popeye. So if I had the high enough res artwork here, I'd be able. In fact, I'm sure this is a 1600 DX by plug here. Let's just stretch it right out and see if. Oh fuck! That didn't work very well, did it? 1992. I thought that's just actually gone out the Bandicam window there. I do apologise. I think 1992. If I was having a guess on that, I'd say it was 1992. That feels about right to me. If I was placing all of these, I would say 91, 92, maybe into 93. I'm not sure, but I'd put them all pretty much about 92-ish. What order they came out in, I wouldn't like to say. Again, if I was having a guess, I'd say that perhaps Fairground was the first, then maybe Circus, Popeye and Hagar. I don't know. They all seem to be out and about at around the same time to me. And the other thing is, just because I may have seen a Fairground before I saw any of the others doesn't mean that Fairground was the first one to be released. Just could be that that's the order that they turned up in the pubs near me. So I'm not going to make any kind of definitive statement on the order that they came out in, but I am going to say they were all around in about 1992. I'm pretty confident that little sort of Roman numeral year underneath the JPM logo there actually says 1992, and that feels right to me. Other thing to note is that a couple of these layouts here are shown as £8. Fairground is shown as £8, and Popeye is shown as £8. As you can see here, I have loaded £6 ROMs into these. None of these JPMs did well with the £8 upgrades. They all want to be. In fact, I think Popeye got a £10 inverted commas upgrade as well. I'm sure there's some £10 ROMs floating around for that. The problem with the bigger jackpots on these is that they fucked the machine up in 2 ways. First and foremost, and I've discussed before, just making the jackpot bigger unbalances, very, very often unbalances the machine, particularly when your jackpots are pretty small. You increase a jackpot from £6 to £8, that's like a 25% increase in the jackpot. It really tilts the gameplay, and it hurt these machines as much as any others. So it just kind of unbalances the machine. It can't offer jackpot features as often as it would. It can't offer nudges for jackpots. So some of the things that you get used to as being worth a jackpot and being fairly easily available become less. So the other thing that it really stuffed up on these JPMs is it removed the £3 repeater. So you can actually see that reflected in the artwork here on Fairground and Popeye, which are were originally released with £8 ROMs. You can see there that £3 is not showing as plus repeat chance, and that's because on the £8 and £10 upgrades, the £3 just went to a straight £3, and you lost the £3 repeater. I guess the sort of payoff for that was that the jackpot was bigger, but I always hated that because the £3 repeater on these machines was pretty good. It loved to repeat once or twice or even 3 times, particularly on Popeye. I would always collect the £3 repeater on any of these machines, and once the £3 repeater was gone, just to be slightly compensated for a bigger jackpot, I really think it stuffed up the machines, and I didn't care for that change at all. So when these layouts were released with £8 ROMs, pretty much the first thing that I did was just load £6 ROMs into them, and I've been running on the £6 ROMs ever since. The other thing to watch out for is with all machines that were kind of popular, they got all kinds of bastardized versions on 5p play and 10p play with all kinds of random jackpots. I mean, 4 quid, 6 quid, 8 quid, 10 quid, whatever. I've said this many times with other machines from this era. You've just got to play them on the original stake and prize, and for all of these, that is 20p, £6, and I do beseech you, if you're digging these layouts out from the archives, because with the exception of Around the World in 80 Days, all of these are kind of archive machines. I cannot find, as far as I am aware, none of these machines have had refreshes and revamps for the newer version of the emulator. So like with the previous Mega M1AB video, I did Green Monopoly and That's Life and whatnot, kind of making the point that it's easy to forget about some of these machines that are still out there and can still be played. Make sure you're running them on 20p, £6. Just a little run through who's made these layouts. Popeye and Hagar, made by a chap called Razor's Back, long since departed from the scene. Unfortunately, he was a nice guy. He knocked out quite a few DXs in his time. And as you can see, I'm still playing them to this day, so thank you to Razor's Back for those. Ploggy here, this is our Ploggy 1280 DX. I tell a lie. This was before he moved to 1600. You can see the year on that, actually released pretty much exactly 13 years ago. 17th of December 2005, the Circus DX, released by Ploggy here. And Fairground 2080 DX, released by Hurthand165, back when he had his own. I do remember that deadworld.net site, and initially you had to go over to the site and register to download the layout, and I don't think he wanted it turning up on other Fruit Machine emulation sites. That caused a little bit of a kerfuffle back in the day. Such was the kind of thing that we used to have squabbles about, but thank you to Hurthand for that layout, and of course Ploggy for that magnificent Circus DX there. So, let's get playing them, shall we? I'll have just a few quid through each, get a feel for the gameplay. They are all, to be honest with you, they're quite similar. They are all start-to-finish trails. They've all got fairly similar mechanics. They've all pretty much got a £3 repeater, and then you in fairly quick order you get from £3 up to the jackpot. There's maybe one value in between. Do remember here that the board values are slightly wrong on Fairground and also on Popeye, because they're both running £6 ROMs. Let's start off with possibly one of my favourite out of all of them, which would be Popeye here. So let's go to current stats. I did just put £1 through before, just to get a feel for where that win line was. So do remember that we're looking at the line underneath the win line. We need to get a 6 or better on the trail to get into the feature, or we can exchange over from any real win once it has gambled once. Cheerful little sea shanty, there we go, that'll do the job. Sea shanty tune. Now then, you can try and get slightly smart here on your feature entry, because if memory serves, so you could almost get, see if you do that, see if you could hold there, you hold them all again. Rock the boat there is a super hold, and that would be a nice hold for the jackpot. As with all JPMs, it was never really about the streak. I don't remember these really having a streak as such. They would sometimes have little slightly enhanced periods, but as with other JPMs, the trick really was to try and get the value out of them. So just take the wins, take the jackpots, take the value out of the machine as you could, and don't actually get involved with trying to actually force the thing. So obviously we can have a feature there, so we'll get in. So we do have a super hold there, but that's not going to do us any good. Brutus will not start chasing us until we land on one of the yellow cash squares here, so let's see how we do.
Out of my way.
So the number is the one above, there we are. So That was a 5, so we need to just look at the number that's slightly above. So Brutus is now activated, and we will now take it in turns. Not a bad move from Brutus there. He's one behind me. There's your mystery. We want the spinach, really. The spinach is the best thing to get off this. Compass there. If you collect the 4 compass points, which I don't think has ever... Oh, fuck. Oh, no, we survived. Collect all the compass points, you get yourself a jackpot, which never really seems to happen. Does that... Sometimes Olive makes that really weird noise like she did there. I'm not sure if it actually signifies anything. I never really worked it out. Okay, we're going to survive that. Obviously, the lose there is what we want to very much avoid. Now, that's good. Getting the spinach at that point, we'd kind of fancy our chances here for getting something decent. Let's see. Oh, that's a bad roll, though. So there goes our extra life, and we've got to watch out. The sea hag here does like to kill you. We could collect the feature there, and I can't. I think you just it's like you just select north, south, east, and west on the alpha. I think. Yeah, Brutus is doing quite well. We're having some shocking moves here. Oh, piss off! That was right. That would have made me a little bit salty out in the wild. I think that was not. Considering we got the spinach fairly late in the day there, I'm a little bit narked about how Brutus relieved us of it and then came back to kill us as well. I mean, as with all of these machines, I mean, you're pretty good. I used to like these. They were fairly, in the main, we'll just put another pound in there, they were fairly gentle profile. And you would generally get... Collect that. You would generally get... So that's going to be a 3, isn't it? So we'll go higher than 3. You generally get a decent gain for your money, but catch 'em we're going to exchange there. I did like to try and gamble up to £3 because the £3 there is a £3 repeater. Now the number's only 1 to 10, by the way, but I'm not going to gamble on a 6. I wouldn't gamble on a 6 out in the wild. And your exchange always puts you back at the start. So yeah, as I was saying, you would generally get a decent... Oh, bollocks, we've gone straight on a cash square. Generally get a decent gain for your money, but catch 'em wrong, and they would do some damage. No doubt about it, these could do damage to you. As I covered... Oh, bugger off. As I covered in Gambling Low Ebbs Part 2, it was a Popeye that did for me on that particular day. So you could lose 20 odd quid in these if you caught them wrong, no problem. Okay, let's have a look what we've got here. Compassy thing again. Oh, now, if we can collect... Oh, no! Time bomb would have been a jackpot there. It's basically a nudge timer, and obviously we'd really fancy our chances. Yeah, that was basically a gimme for the jackpot there, but bloody Brutus caught us. We'll see it out for I'd like to get a £3 repeater, actually. The £3 repeater... To me, the £3 repeater was better on these than the actual jackpots. I would always kind of seek out the £3 repeater. But can't stress, so I'd go for a nice hold after nudges on melons there, which you did like to do. And that would often give you a nice easy gamble for the £3 repeater. That should be a win. So we can actually get... Can get grapes there. I think we're on a 4, is that? Yeah, that's a 4. Ah, 6 again. That's another 6, isn't it? Okay, we're going to have to exchange over.
I'll say wow, blow me down.
Sink the ship is, that's kind of like one of them features where it just gives you what it wants. Oh, bollocks, there's Brutus. I can't see. There's a potential for that. I think that's going to be a jackpot, isn't it? Yeah, that is... Yeah, that's a jackpot. Do I want... So, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4... Okay, well, we'll have a jackpot.
My hero!
There we are. So there's our jackpot. Not bad. £6 tokens. I'd rather have the £3 repeater. Let's just see if we can get the £3 repeater out of it as well. 3 holds was something that did happen. It can do it. Oh, no 3 holds. I will try and just go... I'll focus more on trying to get the £3 repeater at this point. You get a nice little blast of music, and... I mean, it's not a dead cert repeat, don't get me wrong, but I would say that your chances of getting a repeat were 50%, maybe. So let's have a look. I want to be careful not to land straight on the... cash there. Oh, there we are. No, that's not quite there because it's going to be, yeah, so rock the boat won't quite do it. But obviously any nudges here is going to be jackpot. Onto Pappy's eye. I don't really want another jackpot there. I want the bloody £3 repeater is the thing. And that can give you a straight £3 as well, which is a bit annoying. If you hit the £3 square, which I think it just auto collects. Oh dear, well, didn't really matter, did it? No joy, nothing happening. Okay, we'll persevere with this until we can get a £3 repeater. See if we can get a repeat out of it, and then we'll move on, because we do have a few machines to get through. How far up is the... No, it's miles off. Let's do it like that, see if we can get... There we are, so 6 nudges. See how I did it there? Because I could see I had the 2 JPMs up there. So 6 nudges here would yield... Oh, bollocks. Would yield the £3 repeater, and we'll certainly collect that. Not bad, Rick. Oh, Brutus pulls a 10 out of his arse, though. If we can just land on a nudge square or time bomb, that would be fine. Ah! Come on, come on. Nudges, nudges, nudges. Bollocks. He's going to have... Oh, dear. Well, it's quite close. We're going to carry on. Piss off. Oh, dear, 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 dear. Brutus on fire there. Clearly not going to be deprived of the loving Ember. He was always after Olive, wasn't he? I think he fancied Olive, but she was having none of it. That was about the size of it, I think, wasn't it? It's a long time since I've watched a Popeye cartoon. Oh, there we are. So 3 nudges will do us here. 3 nudges for the £3 repeater. Come on. Oh, dear, dear, dear. Come on. I'd be wanting to go. Bugger off. It's in one of its slightly less fragrant moods here, isn't it? Not being kind. Let's carry on. There we are. Let him ride. I mean, obviously this is from... God, it's not really playing here, is it? This is from back in my completely clueless days, so any tricks or methods or general, you know, the correct way to play them, I was never particularly availed of. I kind of played them as I'm playing them here, which I did try and do what I think was correct, is try and take the value out of them, not get silly and try and push on, hoping it would streak or just collecting nothing but a jackpot or anything like that. I would always collect the decent features, I'd always collect the £3 repeater, and so on. Let's see where we can get it. So we got the, we have got this spinach. If I land another compass point, that's actually a jackpot. Oh, that's going to be a jackpot, isn't it? Which I don't want. I don't want a bloody jackpot. And I've made it. I've actually got the jackpot. Anyway, now whether I want it or not, so you can see that I can't... Once you... It doesn't even give Brutes a chance to catch up there, so that is another £6 jackpot. Which is, you know... Out in the wild, of course, you'd be happy with that, but albeit it's all tokens at this point, I've got £12 in tokens in the bank. That's one of the things that did some of the comments on the previous video, the A token difference video. Some of the comments there, people saying that, you know, they used to like tokens and they had ways that they could use them and make money out of them and all that kind of thing, which I kind of get. I was kind of coming at that one more from my incredibly amateurish perspective, which is not particularly knowing what to do with them or what to do with them for the best, and generally just finding them a slightly frustrating alternative to money. I'm sure that a decent player, a good player, could have maximised the way that they could have made money out of the tokens. I didn't do that and just found it slightly frustrating. So we're just not doing very well here for... Yeah, okay. God, is that nice? So, we are into Death Alley here. Well, I was about to say I'll collect Jewel if I landed on it. Okay, then, this is taking a little while. I'm mindful that we've got another 4 machines to get through. What I'll do here is I'll collect that £12 out and just, I mean, it's not the most exciting thing in the world, is it? A bloody £3 repeater. I'll come back when I'm set up for the £3 repeater. Right, we'll go for it on a sketchy gamble. I'm going to go higher than a 5 for the £3 repeater. No! Piss. Okay, we've got another one. Same gamble again. Higher than a 5, you say? Yay, we've made it. So we are now going to collect the £3 repeat. You get a great little ditty, and hopefully it will repeat for us. And now we get some nice music on the repeat chance, and I always try to do it in time with the music. Like that, you see. Might have another one on it. Did like to do 2 repeats. Oh, just the 1 repeat. I always did it in time with the music, just so you get a nice continuous little kind of musical interlude. Didn't really... Well, that was worth waiting for, wasn't it? Oh, shall we just see if we can get holds on those double... Did like to do holds on every... This is the good thing with small value real symbols. There you go, look, that's a hold after nudges for £4. They'll hold after nudges for absolutely bloody anything, machines of this era. Now, you know what? Out in the wild, I would just collect that £4. It's £4 tokens, which is a pisser. You wouldn't have a gamble on a 5, but go on. And that's why. So, I could have actually got me money back there. I was 22 quid in and 18 quid out. But if I'd have collected that £4, which is what I would have done for realsies, that would have been 22 in and 22 out. Okay then. Oh, bloody hell, 26 minutes down already, and we're not even on to Hagar. Now then, Hagar, kind of a very similar proposition. You can see it's kind of the same sort of basic layout, really. The big thing on this one, though, is it has the potential to give you a jackpot repeater, which, as far as I am aware, you've got no way of getting on Popeye. Now, the way that you do it on Hagar, and it's pretty bloody rare, but I did have it on occasion out in the wild. What you do, when you land on Helga, she's called, isn't it? When you land on Helga's brew there, who's your mystery, little bit like your go fishing on Popeye. One of the things that she can give you is a shield. Now, the shield is a repeat chance. For whatever you end up collecting on the board, a shield gives you a repeat chance. So that's great. That means that if you get to the end, the £6 jackpot, and you've got the shield, you get a repeat chance. Now, the problem with that is that you will always, and I mean just about bloody always, get lost at sea. There's a game over square here right before the £6 jackpot. Now, to get past that, you need to have the bridge. If you've got the bridge, that's another thing that comes off Helga. If you land on Lost at Sea, the bridge gets you over to the £6 jackpot. Now, the problem with that is to get the £6 repeater, your jackpot repeater, you need to have the shield and the bridge. And that is a surprisingly difficult combination of things to get. It really doesn't like to do it, but when you can get there, and I do recall this, love to repeat twice on the jackpot. So that was £6 plus 2 repeats is £18. Obviously it was £18 in tokens, but that was a nice little jackpot repeater potential that it had on top of the usual standard issue JPM £3 repeater for the JPM symbols. This was another one, by the way, that lost its £3 repeater. On the upgrades, and I use that word in inverted commas, on the £8 upgrade, far better sample pack on this one. Let's have a listen to the tunes on this one. So let's go for our grapes there. Another one that lost the £3 repeater on the upgrades, and for that reason, as ever, it skews the gameplay. Okay, no reason not to gamble on that, 'cause if I lose the gamble to 1 nudge, I can still get the feature, and if I win the gamble, I've got melons. Oh, you bugger. and on to the feature.
I'll take you, Alice.
Okay, so let's start moving our way around the board. So that's basically a super hold. Not much on there, so there's no reason to collect that. Now this likes to give you prune juice and send you back to the start, as it did there, which is kind of a little bit pointless. And you can sometimes, yeah, you can sometimes just land on it again. It will do it. I'm not quite sure what the point of that is, really.
Horribly good.
I think it can kill. I think the one on the end there is poison. I think the red one is poison. And if it's in a really bad mood, it will actually kill you on that thing. But let's see if we can get past it.
Horribly good lager.
6 nudges on £2, no good to us. We'll get the £3 repeater if it becomes available. There's Helga. Oh, Rampage. I think roll over is, if you're good, which of course I'm not, so I'm going to land it on. So I'm aiming for roll over here. Oh, that bloody well jumped then. Oh, and that's a collect prize. Food is collect prize. So you can kind of see the challenge there to get the jackpot repeater, is you've got to land on Helga at least twice, and she's got to give you the bridge and the shield, and this is while you try not to have her kill you or give you a collect prize or something like that. It's quite a difficult combo to get. So let's have a few more quid. Let's just see if we can get a jackpot. See if we can get. I'm certainly not going to see it out for the jackpot repeater because you can wait an awfully long time for it to let you get that. So I'm not going to see it out for that because we could be here all day. Let's see what it. Don't poison me. Okay. Poison off that you could take as a sign that the machine is in a pretty foul mood, by the way. Oh, for fuck's sake. Where's that going to put me? That was useful, wasn't it? Okay, we've got past it at least. Bridge also, we want the blue one or the orange one here. Now there's the bridge. That's fine. I've got the bridge, but I still need to get the shield. So I've got to land on Helga again. And obviously she can give you a lose or she can give you a collect prize. I've got to land on her again, and I need the shield. I've got to get the shield. Oh, I'm going to land back on her if I can. Come on, you can do it. Degsy. Land back on Helga. There we are. It's a bit of a chance, but a bit of a risk. Fucking pointy hatted cow, my word. Deary me. Okay, well, that didn't work out well for me at all, did it? Probably not the wisest of things to do is to deliberately land on a mystery in the hope of getting the shield. I think when it wanted to do it, it did sort of do it naturally. We'll go for 3 holes on single bars. The £3 repeater on this to me never felt quite as good as the £3 repeater on Popeye. That did seem to like to repeat more. Let's have a look. But then you've got a jackpot repeater potential on Hagar, which you don't have on Popeye. So that's we're probably not a million miles off for the jackpot. Oh, no. Off the wrong way. Let's see where that puts me.
Horribly good lager.
Useful, isn't it? The nudges on this never seem to... Well, I say never, but they weren't as often good, I would say, the nudges, as they were on Popeye. And that cash pot always seemed to be... Shall we take rollover? Let's see if I've got the skills to hit this. Oh, dear. I can't even see that. Where are the JP... there. Oh, that was... not exactly sensational. Let's see if we can get the £3 repeat. Let's see if we can get a repeater out of it. And let's see if we can get a jackpot out of it. I am going into these blind. I've quite deliberately not done any prep on the machines themselves. So we might get surprised. A little bit like Green Monopoly surprises with a streak. In the last but one video, I think it was, wasn't it? That was just a natural streak. I didn't pump the machine up on autoplay or anything like that. It just came round over time, playing it over time. It just came round for the streak. Okay, we have now got a high-low gamble here for the JPMs on a 4. So let's go for that. Higher than a 4 for £3 plus repeat chance. And we will collect that. No little ditty for that, unfortunately, which I always thought was a bit of a shame. Go on, you can do it. Aha! So all we've got to do now is get the jackpot, I guess. I think it's in a little bit of a rotten mood, this, one way or another. Maybe it was kind to me the last time I played it. Let's have a look. Again, I'll bring you back when I've got set up for a jackpot. So I have got £3 plus repeat chance there. I'll carry on gambling. Let's see how... Oh my god, lower than a 9 to a 10. That's rather harsh. Obviously on the real thing there, I would absolutely have collected the £3 repeat chance. Just want to get this one out to a jackpot and then we will move on to the next. Okay, so I have got the bridge there. I'm on the board. I've got the bridge. So that should hopefully get me to the jackpot at least. Depends what Helga does here. Oh! There it is! There's the combo! The shield and the bridge. Now the only thing that can fuck me off for the jackpot repeater now is landing on Helga there. If I can just avoid the Helga square right at the end here, this is a jackpot repeater. Come on, do not roll a 4. No 4, no 4. Yes, there's the jackpot repeater! Well, I wasn't expecting that, but there we are. It's the jackpot repeater. The only way that you can get it as far as I'm aware, and now we have got repeat chance on the jackpot. Come on, come on. It's been playing a bit stinky, this. I could do with this. Come on. Oh! No, 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 no. That is so hard to get as well. That is a fucking hard jackpot repeater to get. And it didn't even repeat for me. Oh, you bag of spanners. Such good sample packs on all of these machines. I think Hagar is possibly my favourite out of all of them. Fairground is pretty... They're all good. They're all good sample packs on these machines. I'm a big fan of fruit machines with good sound and music, and all of these absolutely fit the bill in that regard. Let's move on to Circus. Now, again, very, very much remember playing this. There was quite a few of them around. Not as much as the others, though. I don't remember playing this one as much as I did the others. Well, we've got all kinds of offset lamp issues there. I do apologise to Wizard. Wizard did say over at Desert Island Fruits that he grimaces when he sees me playing these layouts in the old versions of the emulator. I've not done the little updates and all this kind of thing, so these real offsets and lamp offsets, I do apologise, Wizard. I am not doing it to annoy you. I'm just it doesn't really, I guess for some people it would really bug them that this layout kind of looks wrong because the lamps aren't quite in the right place and the real offset is wrong, but it doesn't really matter to me. That's the thing, because I know that the emulation is still correct. It doesn't actually kind of ruin in any way my enjoyment of the machine. I think that's a sample off Hagar as well, isn't it? Or vice versa. So you'd always hold 2 of a kind for a feature or for a win. Always worth holding 2 of a kind. Lots of nice samples on these, although not so much the feature board. The feature board music on this, I mean, it fits with the theme. It is like a circus top style bit of music, but it gets quite annoying quite quickly, I must say. There we are, hold off nudges 4, and there we are, we've got it on the best number. Well, nearly. Yeah, you can see there, you can have a melon on all of... So, yeah, it's as good as it can get on a 9. So we are going to go lower than the 9 for the £3 plus repeat chance. And we're going to collect that.
I'll take you, Olive.
Shut up, Olive. There we are, nice £3 repeater. No, we're not doing very well on repeats here, so let's just get on there. We are onto the board. Lots of similarities to the other ones, of course. I think you would usually try and land on. Because if you land on the first one here, he often gives you something good. There we are, so free ticket. I think that gets... You know what, I'm not as familiar with this machine as I am the others. Now then, the trick here I find, if you hit it on safety net, it likes to jump, or in my experience, it likes to jump. So I always go for box office here, because fired is game over. So I'm going to go for box office here, he says, as he completely misses it, but not to worry. Oh, God, I've landed that. That wasn't the best either. Box... Fucking... You know what? Just, you know, doesn't matter. I've got the free ticket. Let's carry on. We'll just gloss over that. I think clowning around is the real stop thing. That's a little bit of a kind of... A little bit like Helter Skelter on Fairground, that one. We are kind of going for the jackpot here. So I think the free ticket protects me from that there. So what I'm going to try and do... You could almost try and stop this on £6, couldn't you? Oh, dear. Oh, that sample, it kind of... Oh, fucking hell. Come on, Degsy. Oh, and I actually want to land. I wanted to land on £5 there. Come on, let's cross. Oh no! Oh, the free ticket is just... Oh, it's the... I think the safety net protects you from the high wire, and then the free ticket is just a repeat chance. So is there nothing that I can't... You know what? I don't play this one really as much as the others. So maybe there's nothing that can actually protect you against that last square there. I'm not sure. Oh no, we're going to... Oh no, I've done it again. Sorry. That horrible noise. There we are. Great gondola. Give us something decent. Where's that going to go? Does this auto collect this one? Yeah, you know what? I just got it in my head there that the vanish auto collects on this one. And I'm afraid it does. That's exactly what it does. The vanish auto collects. Let's see if we can squeeze a jackpot out of this one. I have to say, of the 5 machines to actually play as a game, Circus is probably my least favourite out of all of them. They're all decent machines, but whereas I would say Hagar and Popeye are absolutely fantastic, Fairground and Around the World in 80 Days are really good. I would say Circus is above average, but somehow it just doesn't quite work as well for me as the other ones. I think it's partly due to the irritating, that the board music really gets on my tits after a bit, and that bloody flying trapeze, the guy screaming his head off, grates after a little bit as well. Oh, look at that! Box office as well, you know what, we're going to have that. We'll have that easy jackpot. That's the same sample as Hagar, lazy JPM. I mean, there are some skilly type features on there. I think the human cannonball is skillish. I guess if you're good enough at that, you can get a jackpot on it. I think LION TAMER. I think LION TAMER is actually a skill stop. Let's have one more board. See if we can actually collect a feature on this. I've got it in my head that LION TAMER. Yeah, LION TAMER is this fella here. LION TAMER is this one here. So I think that should be a jack. Oh, I've got the safety net. That'll protect me from the high wire. Let's see if we can get round. I think juggler. I think that's super hold. Carry on round. Bumper cash. Oh, now that's just a crappy thing in the alpha here. You can actually see the cars off to the left and right. We'll carry on because I don't think I'm protected against Circus leaves town. No, I'm not. See, the safety... Okay, so the safety net does not help you with Circus leaves town. It helps you with the high wire there if you miss the high wire, but I think it does have a hard game over possibility with Circus leaves town, which I think is a little bit mean. Let's just collect that bank out. Oh, that seems to be an old cash run there, because we did have a jackpot in there, didn't we? And that was yeah, we definitely had a jackpot in there, and that just paid out all cash, so we do seem to be on an old cash run for this one. Let's just see it out for one more board, see if we can get another board. So we've got the feature there, that's fine. The nudge gambles on these were always quite generous. Sometimes, yeah, you could lose, obviously, but as often as not, they'd kind of let you get somewhere. The other thing that I remember on these is this bloody dice reel thing here. Not all of them use it. Hagar does. Circus does. Oh, no, that's an auto-collect, isn't it? Well, 280, not too bad. Popeye didn't. Now, the thing with this dice reel is on the real machines. In fact, the way it looks on this layout here, or on these layouts, is probably a fairly accurate representation of how they generally ended up on the real machines. For some reason, they just always ended up knackered. Now, I don't know why, because by all accounts, they were just a normal reel, but like a fatter version. It's not like there was a real spinning dice in there. I think they just had like a sort of static dice in there with one dice face for each of the 6 numbers. I don't know if it was the extra weight in the reel or something like that, but for some reason they just about always ended up broken. So if you found one of these machines that was maybe a couple of years old and hadn't been maintained, hadn't been fixed, you could bet your arse that this bloody dice reel would not be working properly, and it would indeed look something like this. And you'd be trying to guess what the number was, or it would kind of jam and it wouldn't spin properly, something like that. I can only assume that it didn't work, that JPM cottoned onto this, because they did change fairly sharpish back to a traditional high-low reel. I'm surprised that we didn't have £3 available there off 9 nudges. Oh, there we are. Now, I'm pretty sure this is a skill stop, so let's just embarrass myself on this, and then we'll move on to Fairground. Oh, you can slow it down, but cancel, even I can't miss this. Even Degsy can't go wrong here, he said confidently. So it is getting quite quick now, but with cancel. There we are. So we're on to... Look at that now. I'm not going to try and hit that. Yeah, there we are. Nice, easy jackpot. Oh, my word. Look at that. Oh! Fucking hell. No. I can't even blame it on... Can't even blame it on beer. I've got a cup of tea on the go here, and Jesus fuck. You know, sometimes the temptation to edit things like that out becomes almost too strong to bear. What an absolute fucking humiliation that. I don't really know what to tell you. Not sure how I managed to miss that. Well, nah, doesn't matter. Let's move on. Let's just pretend it didn't happen. Move on to Fairground. Not my absolute favourite circus. I've got a hold after nudges there. You wouldn't normally leave after a hold after nudges, but don't think this is going to come under the hour mark at this one. Let's have a few quid in Fairground. Very similar setup to Circus. They're not quite clones, but I don't. No, they're not clones, but they're not far off. There's an awful lot in common. I think the thing with Fairground, whereas Circus has got the Circus Leaves Town Square there, which I don't think there's any way, if you land on that, it's just game over. You can get a late night pass on Fairground, which will get you past the Fair Close Square there. Your guess is as good as mine. I'm going to say it's a 5. So we'll pretend it's... Well, we'll say like tiles is 5 and go lower. 4. Well, okay, we're going to exchange over to the feature. Again, not the best music in the world on the feature for this one. Now, landing on the first fortune teller here. Oh, that was a 2. Oh, okay. Oh, right, so it's the number underneath. It is actually the number underneath. Yeah, now famously, this machine did have an emptier, I think, on the £8 ROMs for Coconut Shy there, didn't it? Which I believe Cheerful Pessimist has covered on his channel. Oh dear, of course I never knew any of that stuff back in the day. I think it was only in the £8 upgrade. I think it... Apparently, I always thought, when I saw the... or when I heard about the emptier, latterly, I always assumed it was like... kind of like an inside job and deliberately bent coding, but apparently it was just a debug routine, that they put a debug routine in for the testers because the testers couldn't naturally hit a jackpot off Coconut Shy, and they wanted to check that it was awarding the correct value, but they just couldn't get a jackpot off it. So the program actually put a little sort of test routine, a little debug routine to enable them to force the feature to give them a jackpot, and they forgot to take it out before the machine was released. So apparently it was an accident that emptier got out into the wild. I was always quite fond of that sample. Entirely sure. It's got a nice, in fact, I do remember now, it's got a really nice £3 repeat sample, this. So we are going to try and get the £3 repeater. No way that you can cheese out a jackpot repeater on this that I am aware of. I think it's Hagar is the only one where you can set yourself up for a jackpot repeater. Now, hitting the first one here can be okay, because you can get the late night pass off this. Now, 2 extra nudges, which threatens to be a jackpot here, doesn't it, rather than a £3 repeater. Let's see where we end up. Duck shoots a bit. That's just a little crappy thing on the alpha. And it's used the fair closed. So what I'm going to try and do here is get out for a £3 repeater. Not too fussed about hitting the jackpot, really. Hold the balloons. No, you can hold them, or if you've got a favourable reel setup, you can choose to hold the balloons, or if you don't like it, you can just let them spin as I did there, and it will bring them in. So even though it says hold the balloons, you don't actually have to. Well, I don't want to test your strength here either. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure that this is in the best of moods, if I'm honest with you. So there's 3. You see there, it says £4 on the board, but it is actually, that would have been a £3 square. Do you think I've got the skills to land this on jackpot? Because I don't. It's not really... Come on. Oh, no! Okay, then what I'm going to do then is get this one set up for a £3 repeater, and then I'll bring the video back. Well, that'll work. That is 3 holds for the £3 repeater. So we'll definitely have that. And you can see now, I'm sure, why I much prefer this on the £6 ROMs, because on the £8 ROMs, that's just a £3 cash win, which you can either exchange the feature, and the exchange always starts you right at the start, or you've got to try and gamble up. I'd have no idea why they took the £3 repeater off these when they upgraded them to £8. It's the repeat chance music that I like on this. Oh, and I'm absolutely rotten run on the repeats here. All of these machines have made complete lies out of me, because they are genuinely pretty nice on the repeats. What I suspect, thinking about it, when I play these machines, I generally play them to the point where I get a chunk of cash back or make a profit, because you can just take the value out of them by collecting things. So it's possible that I've left all of them in a slightly suboptimal mood. That does seem to be the case here. Might let me gamble up to 4 nudges though for melons. Come on. There we are. We definitely have that. Let's see what number it gives me. So it's a 3. It's a bad number, and I only need 3 nudges for a jackpot. Oh no, of course I can't exchange. I've got to gamble. No, I've got to gamble once anyway. Let's try it. Oh, you pig. It's gone to a 2, has it? Yeah, okay. Right, on the vague... Oh, I'm not going to bring this one under an hour, I don't think. Let's move on. Let's move on to Around the World in 80 Days. Now, this one, as you can see, all the reels are in the right place and the lamps and all that kind of thing. Because this is a nice, swizzy, modern layout by We Are City. You can see there, just from the classic. I do remember the real machine, and he's captured the layout of the real machine quite nicely here. So it doesn't bother me at all that it's a classic instead of a DX. The sample pack on this one, I think, suffered a bit. Because what they've done, you can see all the cities that you can land on. Paris, Munich, Barcelona, and so on. They've done like a unique sample for each of the cities, which doesn't sound like a bad idea. But I think it hasn't left them much room in the ROMs for other sound effects and music. So even though it's quite nice that each of the cities has its own little sample, I think it has left the rest of the sample pack a little bit bare bones on this one. So as with all the others, you've got to gamble once, and now we can exchange. And you always start at the start. It doesn't matter what the exchange is. You always start at the start and work your way round. So step to nearest win is going to be as awful as ever, isn't it? And that's a brutal game over there. You can see there these customs things here. If you haven't got a visa, if you land on these, you've got to have the visa, which you can get off the suitcase, which is your mystery. And that was pretty awful. That was a pretty nasty feature. Let's go for another, because it almost literally can't be worse than that. As ever with machines, they board fairly regularly. You're getting wins fairly regularly. Let's see if we can do better than that. So as you can see, I've got my visa now, so that will guard me. See a nice little Barcelona Spanish sample there. Well, that was quite a nice touch. I do like that they've done a little kind of themic or themed sample for each of the cities. Oh dear, this can have me. So there's a repeat chance. I think it's just a repeat chance on the feature. I don't think it's a repeat chance on what you actually collect. But let's find out. Assuming it doesn't actually kill me. Now, Tokyo there is actually £3 plus repeat chance. Let's get bold, though. Let's see if we can get down here. I've got me visa. Got me visa. Come on. Oh, win series is not... you know what? Out in the wild, I'd have that, but I'm so close. I'm going to go for it. Ah! Come on. Oh, I can hit that. I can hit that. Oh, shit. Oh, no! Well done. I mean, though, that answers that question. The repeat chance. Fuck. The repeat chance is actually on the feature, not on them, which is what I thought. Let's try again. I haven't got my visa now as well. My visa's gone. So... if I get a 3, I'll collect the £3. Oh, bollocks. Oh, no, I've got... Sorry, I'm being daft. I've got my visa. It's up there. So now my visa's gone. 10 nudges, £2? You've got to be kidding. Well, you know what? I am now going to collect the win series. Let's have that. See, it's just the same sample for the win series as nudges. I really do think they were a bit short of room in the ROMs once they'd done all these little city samples. 220. It's taken a credit. 380. Okay, well that's near enough a jackpot, isn't it? Although it did take a credit. Well, looks like it's going on. No. Well, that was hold 'em all, wasn't it, I think? Yeah, there we are. Oh, well, we've got to go lower than that, and that'll take us out to the £3 repeater. See, now I've got a gamble on a 1, but I'm going to collect the £3 repeater there. See what I mean? It's that sample again. Let's see if we can get a repeat. no, just not a repeat to be had at all on any of these. So I think you can see there from the gameplay across the 5 of them, they are in a way that they're pretty much of a muchness. I do like on Hagar that you've got that extra thing to go for, and this is very much true back in the day, because I say I played all of these machines very much quite a lot back in the day. And the one thing that the appeal for me of Popeye was the £3 repeater. It had such a good £3 repeater on it, and it did like to repeat. On Hagar, the £3 repeater never seemed to be quite as powerful, but that getting that shield and bridge combo, I didn't manage it there, but didn't get the repeat. But actually having the possibility to get to the end for a £6 repeater was quite a big draw. And then underneath them two, I'd put Fairground and Around the World in 80 Days. And I think bottom of the pile, but that's not, I'd still give it a sort of 7 out of 10 would be Circus. But that would, of my 5 machines, I'd put Circus at the bottom in terms of the enjoyment potential. But they're all good machines. They're all, I'd say they're all 7 out of 10 or better. Oh, bollocks, I haven't got my visa again. But do remember that with the exception of Around the World in 80 Days, that's got... You can see here, by the way, when the feature is available, it will tell you what reels to nudge. So you see there, it's telling me to the middle reels flashing super fast, and then it tells you which way to go. So that's one way that you can tell, because obviously you can have 5 nudges on this, so it may not be immediately apparent where the numbers that you want are, but you can just follow that. It really... Oh, I've got the visa, but it's just taken it off me. Let's just see where this one... Let's just see where this one ends up. 8 nudges, £2. That's a bit mean. Shall we have high-low cash? Oh, it's just a basic, gives you what it wants to, but... And it doesn't add it up as it goes. That's the other thing. It's just however far you get. Not the best of features, really. Oh, God, what's that? £1.60. Let's collect that out. I haven't done too bad there. Let's have a look at me session stat. I've actually won a few quid on that one. So, do remember that with the exception of Around the World in 80 Days, which is a nice modern native layout, all of these others are old DAT-based layouts. That means that you're going to have to load them into 5.1. And if you want to play them in 6, you'll have to convert them over. I don't know if the conversion process would actually fix the reel offset, or if you'd have to do that manually as well. If you don't want to faff about with that and you want them to look correct straight out of the gate, then what you would need to do is load them in version 3.2 of the emulator, and they will look fine in that. But that's 5 great old machines there. All System-5, they're all running on the same tech, all the same stake and jackpot. Lovely machines to play. I do recommend them, and as previously said, you're going to have to delve through the archives a little bit for these machines here. You're not going to have them in your sort of November 2016 Fruit Machine collection onwards, because to the best of my knowledge, none of these 4 here have been redone and re-released for the newer versions of the emulator, but you will be able to find them at sites such as Fruit Emu in the download section, I would imagine. Not entirely sure on that, because I've had these layouts forever, so they are just a part of my collection. So there you go, just in time for Christmas 2018. If you are watching this video before Christmas, then I hope you have a good one. Do enjoy yourselves. If you're watching this video after Christmas, then I hope you had a good one and that your hangover isn't too bad. So thank you very much for watching. That's it for now, and I will catch up with you next time. But for now, a goodbye.